The Minnesota Vikings have had a history of off-field related issues, most of them being arrests and just basically being dumb, right? We have the most arrests in the National Football League, which isn't something to be proud of. And this summer, well, we actually added to that list with our one of our wide receivers, Jordan Addison, well, falling asleep at the wheel and, well, apparently was given a DUI. And we have learned a little bit more about this situation, what is going to transpire, what might happen, I guess you could say, because nothing is set in stone yet. A lot of these NFL players do get away with a lot of these things, which is unfortunate because they should be treated just like you and I, normal people and stuff like that. It's a very unfortunate situation, but it's a situation that we have to look at and be like, yo, maybe it's time to figure your stuff out, just plain and simple. So let's talk about this situation, what's exactly happening, and what has Jordan Addison been charged with. He also might just face a suspension. So before we get to it, make sure to subscribe to the channel. It'd be much, much appreciated. So nearly a month after his Los Angeles arrest on suspicion of driving under the influence, which is a DUI, Minnesota Vikings wide receiver Jordan Addison has been charged with 2 misdemeanors, according to the Star Tribune, and will subsequently be subject to at least a potential 3-game NFL suspension. Now, Addison, who is 22, was found asleep at the wheel of his vehicle on a highway near Los Angeles International Airport on July 12th. Police reports indicated and now faces charges of driving under the influence of alcohol and driving with a blood alcohol content over California's legal limit of 0.8%, which I believe is the entire United States. I think it's just 0.8%. If it's over that, you're driving illegally. Can't do it. It's very bad. Just don't do it. Okay, we'll put it that way. Now, if he is convicted or pleads guilty per the Tribune, Addison could face up to 6 months in jail, pay fines up to $2,000, or lose his driver's license for up to 6 months. Now, obviously, the jail time, from what we've seen in the past, usually isn't what comes of these situations. It's more of if it's a first time kind of, what do you want to say, a first offense, if you will. These typically will get solved with a fine, and he could lose his driver license, which would suck for him. But at the same time, it really doesn't mean much for the Minnesota Vikings organization because he has teammates. He can catch rides. He can kind of do all that thing. But it's a very stupid situation to find yourself under. I just don't believe anybody should do it. It's very, very dumb. You're putting people's life at risk. You're putting your own life at risk. So just don't drink and drive, okay? Be smart about your decisions. Now, the wide receiver's arrest came almost exactly a year after he was cited for speeding and reckless driving in Minnesota, with police clocking him at 140 miles per hour in St. Paul. Now, it also comes just less than a week after teammate Kyrie Jackson was killed in a Maryland car crash by a suspected drunk driver. So last year, basically a year ago today, or at least a year ago relative to now, Addison was cited. Okay, he was speeding. He got a ticket. He was going 140 miles an hour, which a normal human being like you and I would basically instantly pay a massive fine and get our license revoked for at least 6 months or more. It all depends on what the state wants to do. That was not the case with Addison. Apparently, he had a vet issue, or he had a issue with his pet. I think it was a dog or something like that, and was trying to rush him to the vet. Who knows how true that was? It's just, again, it's very, very dumb, very stupid situation to find yourself in. But again, less than a week, okay, after Kyrie was killed in a car accident by a drunk driver. Like, this is just absolutely ridiculous. I don't care. Like, none of it is. It doesn't make sense. Okay, just don't do it. That's the basis of this video. Now, Addison did tell reporters at Vikings training camp that he would accept whatever disciplinary actions come his way, while head coach Kevin O'Connell said that he would address the off-field incidents with the 2023 first-round draft pick. Now, the NFL's policy on substance abuse dictates that players can be suspended 3 games for their first criminal offense regarding alcohol use, per the Tribune, provided there aren't other circumstances that necessitate additional discipline. So basically what is happening right now is Addison was charged with 2 misdemeanors, which means he's going to have to go and sit in front of a court and a jury and a judge, I believe, or maybe just a judge or something like that, and see what is going to take place. Is he going to plead guilty? What is his basically what is the disciplinary actions that are going to be brought upon him. Okay, he's going to have to do that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's just something you got to do. And then after that, if things get settled and he only has to pay a fine, I'm sure he's paid handsomely. He'll be able to pay that fine, come back to the Minnesota Vikings organization, and really just wait for the NFL to make their final decision, because we all know in these instances you have the police, the federal investigation that goes on with this. They make a charge, and then the NFL is separate from that, and they'll make their own charge because they do their own investigation and stuff like that. And right now, Addison could face a 3-game suspension, and it does suck because it's going to hit or take a hit on our offense a little bit, because we have him, Justin Jefferson, who is an absolute animal on the football field, and we have some other receivers that. Are they really cut out to be a number 2? Are they really cut out to be a number 3? Like, how good are these receivers? We don't have many top tier guys in that wide receiver room. So losing Jordan Addison for 3 games would definitely hinder our offensive production. But at the same time, look, this season is going to be an interesting one. I don't expect us to do great. I expect us to do okay. So losing for those 3 games wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing at all. It would hopefully teach him a lesson. Hey, you want to play football? Stop being dumb. Stop making stupid decisions off the field, okay? You're all about football. You're getting paid millions of dollars. Why are you trying to throw this away? It makes no sense, right? We had Chris Carter back in the day who was dealing with alcohol problems himself, and I believe maybe more and stuff like that with the Philadelphia Eagles. Then he gets shipped over to Minnesota because at the time, and probably still now, at least hopefully everyone is up to par, Minnesota had one of the best rehab facilities, or the rehab, something like that, in the nation. Chris Carter came here. He did that. He turned his career completely around. Was a Hall of Famer, or is a Hall of Famer. Is inducted into the Vikings Ring of Honor. I mean, the dude learned from his mistake. Now, is Jordan Addison going to do that? I'm not 100% sure. We've seen Chris Carter was at training camp not too long ago, just a couple days ago, I do believe. So hopefully they had a conversation. They sat down, and Chris Carter told him, hey, there's 2 ways to go here. Either A, you figure it out, you fix these mistakes, you don't do it again, and you have an illustrious career. You play for 10 years, okay? Maybe you make the Hall of Fame, maybe you make the Ring of Honor. Or B, you can completely throw that $1 million that you have right now in your bank account in the trash, your career in the trash, and you can go work at wherever a fast food place. I'm not throwing any shade at fast food, okay? We all know we love McDonald's and all that stuff, but that's reality. You want to make millions of dollars, or do you want to make 5 figures a year? I mean, that's just... What do you want to do? I'm taking the $1 million route if I'm Jordan Addison. So hopefully he figures it out. The NFL has to continue their investigation after the investigation gets done, or the court hearing gets done for Jordan Addison and what he might have to face. Probably no jail time. If anything, I'd assume he's going to receive a hefty fine and probably get his license revoked. Otherwise, the NFL could say, hey, 3-game suspension on top of that, or a little slap on the wrist. Don't do it again. If you do, we might have to do something. But since this is his second offense of breaking the law, it wouldn't surprise me if the NFL hands out a 3-game suspension to wide receiver Jordan Addison. So you guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Also, drop a like and subscribe to the channel. It'd be much, much appreciated. Have a great rest of your night, folks. And Skol Vikes.